Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. If you're an entrepreneur, you've probably poured your absolute heart, soul, and, let's be honest, countless sleepless nights into your company. But how do you ensure all that hard work doesn't just evaporate when you eventually step down? Today we're going to unpack exactly how to establish a business for generations of your family. We are building a masterclass in corporate longevity.
Let me ask you directly, do you want your business to outlive you? I mean, are we just building something for today's profits? Or do you actually have ambitions to create a multi-generational legacy? Something that survives, adapts, and thrives way, way after you're gone. It's a daunting goal for sure, but there are families out there who have completely mastered this art.
To give you a sense of just how long a family business can survive, consider the year 578 AD. That's the year Kongo Gumi, the world's absolute oldest family business, was founded. They were set up to build Japan's very first Buddhist temple, and they've maintained their family tradition for over 1,400 years. Just let that sink in for a second. 14 centuries of continuous operation. It's mind-blowing.
So, here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the world's oldest businesses. Second, the EA system mindset. Third, the ultimate succession hack. Fourth, employees and community ties. And fifth, your multi-generational blueprint. Let's get into it.
Section 1. The world's oldest businesses.
So in Japan, they actually have a specific word for these incredible companies. It's Shinisei. Basically, a Shinisei is a time-honored traditional family company that's been around for 100 years or more. We're talking about businesses from the pre-Zaibatsu era that have somehow weathered centuries of political upheavals, massive economic crashes, and natural disasters.
And the sheer scale of Japan's dominance here is just staggering. When we look at all the family firms globally that are over 200 years old, 50% of them are Japanese. Half of them. Why is this one single country home to so many centuries-old family businesses? Well, it all boils down to a super-specific structural and philosophical approach to the family itself.
Which brings us to Section 2, the IE system mindset.
You really have to contrast the Western idea of a family with the Japanese concept to get this. In the West, a family is pretty much strictly defined by biological bloodlines, right? But the Japanese I, which translates roughly to household, is fundamentally an economic unit. Its whole purpose, its overriding goal, is its own permanence. The continuation of the house as this economic engine is the central focus. That actually sits way above the emotional dynamics of the nuclear family.
So looking at how the I system works, it maps out succession vertically. It usually moves from the family head to the first son, and then to his first son. Other sons might go off and establish branch families, sure, but the core wealth, the reputation, and the business itself remained heavily concentrated and preserved within this central stem line. They aren't carving it up and scattering it across every single sibling.
And this shows the pragmatic flexibility of the Japanese household perfectly. You've got this distinct line between life and death, honoring the ancestors. But crucially, that line is permeable. People can exit the E when they get married to establish a new household, and really capable individuals can enter from the outside, maybe as a daughter-in-law, or, very strategically, as an adopted son-in-law. So the family is this dynamic, living structure, not just a closed genetic loop.
All right, Section 3, the ultimate succession hack.
Now here is the ultimate founder's dilemma. What do you do if your biological heir just isn't ready or willing or capable of leading the company? In the West, this usually means selling the business or watching it slowly tank, simply because blood is prioritized over everything else. But for a Shinisei, the business comes first. Always.
Their brilliant solution is Mukoyoshi, which is adult adoption. If a family doesn't have a capable male heir, they don't just hand the keys over to some underqualified relative. No way. They go out, find a highly capable adult manager, marry him to a daughter of the house, and legally adopt him as a son. He takes the family name and seamlessly steps into the line of succession. And this isn't just some ancient relic, by the way. Japan still sees about 80,000 adult adoptions every single year, specifically to preserve this continuity.
These rules of Japanese succession make it super clear that merit ultimately trumps blood. Priority goes to the most capable son. If that's a no-go, you bring in a Mukoyoshi. Whoever leads the family leads the company, period. If you look at giants like Suzuki Motors or even Kongo Gumi, throughout their histories, they've repeatedly brought in adopted sons-in-law during major crises. They did this to save the business when the biological heirs just weren't the right fit.
There's this traditional Japanese saying that totally hits the nail on the head. You can't choose your sons, but you can choose your sons-in-law. Think of this as literally the ultimate talent acquisition strategy for your C-suite. You are drafting top executive talent directly into your family tree to make sure your business thrives. Moving on to Section 4, Employees and Community Ties.
Transgenerational success isn't just an inside job. It requires building what researchers call a community of fate. These companies literally view their employees as extended family. They tightly align the family's reputation in society with the company's success. They get deeply involved in local Shinto or Buddhist rituals and festivals. And why does this matter? Well, it's simple. When an earthquake or a massive financial crisis hits, you survive because your employees in your local community fight for your survival like it's their own.
Let's bring this all together in Section 5, your multi-generational blueprint.
Based on the Witten phase model, which we've adapted for these incredibly long-lived businesses, here is your concrete step-by-step checklist. Step 1, communicate your expectations early on. You want to weave the business into your child's identity. Step 2, require outside training. A lot of Japanese successors actually spend 3 to 4 years working at a bank or another firm entirely. Why? To build financial literacy and discipline before they ever return home. Step 3, gradually integrate them into operations. And Step 4, ensure a visible, highly symbolic transition of power. That way, all the stakeholders know exactly who is in charge.
Honestly, if you take away just one guiding rule from this entire explainer, let it be this: subordinate everything to the preservation of the business. You have to separate family drama from your business needs. Be willing to innovate, completely change your product line, or yes, even step aside and hand the reins to an adopted outsider if it means the economic engine of your family survives.
And to guarantee that your survival is actually embraced by the outside world, you should adopt this amazing philosophy from the ancient Oshimi traders. It's called Sanpo Yoshi. Good for the seller, good for the buyer, good for the world. A multi-generational legacy simply cannot be parasitic. It absolutely has to provide immense, continuous value to its employees, its community, and society at large. That, my friends, is how you buy centuries of loyalty.
So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. What legacy are you building today? Are you just setting up a company for a quick buyout, or are you actually laying down the structural, cultural, and psychological foundations for a dynasty? The blueprint is right there in your hands. Now it's time for you to build.
Thanks for watching W Our Life and Money. We appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button and subscribe for more tips on mastering your finances.